have the opportunity to thrive and achieve their dreams. That's why we've created programs like One Tampa and Lift Up Local, so that we can support our small businesses who have been affected by the pandemic. The work of the CDC of Tampa has been monumental over the past 28 years. With Ernest Coney's leadership, the CDC of Tampa has been able to bring in over $500 million in private and public investments dedicated to transforming Tampa. I applaud the work that the CDC of Tampa has done, not only through workforce development initiatives, but also in building and developing affordable housing and preparing individuals to become homeowners. Thank you to all of our community champions out there. Let's continue working together to lift each other up and make East Tampa's next chapter the best one yet.
Mayor Castor, thank you so much. We appreciate those wonderful words. We have a great panel of folks who are going to be here with us, who are here with us now, not going to be, they're already here, to have some great discussions about the future of Tampa Bay. So I'd like to introduce them all as they all get ready to pop on their cameras so we can see their lovely faces. Mr. Ernie Coney, who is the CEO for the CDC of Tampa. Thank you again, of course, for being here. We know you had to be here. Yes. John Flanagan, the CEO of Career Source Tampa Bay. John, thank you also for joining in with us today.
Good morning, everybody.
Craig Richard, the CEO of Tampa Bay Economic Development, and I hope I got that right, Tampa Bay Economic Development Council. I want to make sure I say that correctly. And last but certainly not least, Osea Nguyen, who's the Administrator of Neighborhood and Community Affairs for the City of Tampa. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate it. We're going to throw out some questions for you. And this is for all of the panelists. So I'll just start in the order that I just introduced you and with the first question. So each of you have a different role to play within the context of workforce development. So tell me a little bit more about the services and the programs or strategies that you bring to Tampa to help make the Tampa-Hillsborough area a much more thriving and prosperous community. So I'll begin with you, Ernest.
Well, good morning, all, and thank you, Rod. The CDC of Tampa was really birthed to really provide and create economic opportunities. And the opposite of that is really how do we help people really elevate themselves out of poverty. So with that, we've always had a very comprehensive approach. We have a theory that we call earn it, keep it, grow it. Where earn it is what does it take to get a job, because that's where it starts. It's with a paycheck. So it's a soft skills, it's a vocational skills. Keep it is once you get that paycheck, like Grandma would say, it's not how much you make, it's how much you can save. It's teaching people how to save and teaching people the importance of improving the credit score. And then, of course, moving to grow it, to get those assets. Can you own your own business? Can you own your own car? Can you own your own house? Those kind of things to really grow your assets. So that's what really creates those economic opportunities to grow. So programmatically, we always have, of course, really important focuses, career academies, things that really focus on the workforce. But ultimately, it's all to get a person to a place where they're stable.
John, we'll put that question to you as well. Talk a little bit about some of the things that your organization does to help make Tampa-Hillsborough a more thriving and prosperous community.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Ernest. And thank you, everybody, for having me today. Appreciate being here. So at Career Source Tampa Bay, what we do is essentially we are the public workforce system for Hillsborough County. So we provide resources for anybody, regardless of their eligibility, to come into one of our centers and do anything from in terms of doing a job search or upskilling their, upskilling opportunities, to working on their resume, to providing interview skills. So, we serve about 100,000 people a year unduplicated in that regard. We do have many eligibility-based programs as well for folks that have been dislocated from workforce. Specifically, and one of our passions is our youth population, particularly the youth population that has been disconnected from work or school for a period of time. We believe in that because, again, as a convener of workforce development, which is why it's so great we get to work with people like Ernest and CDC, is because we provide the resource, they deliver on the actual mission. And that's why our relationship with CDC is so critically important. We look to the future at Career Source Tampa Bay, and we look to not just how do we solve today's issues, but how do we work with community partners to solve issues of tomorrow. And one of that is how do we engage, the youth of Hillsborough County that, quite frankly, put it this way, they're all going to take care of us in about 15 to 20 years. So we need to make sure that we take care of them and give them every available resource to succeed, because our life depends upon their success. So, in a nutshell, that's what we do. Again, we serve about 100,000 people a year. We've got programs for anybody, regardless of eligibility in Hillsborough County.
John, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You said they're going to take care of us in 10 to 15 years. I want them to get started so I can go ahead and retire now. Let's get that party started right now. Craig Richard, same question for you. Tell us a little bit about your organization and what you do to change the lives of people who are living here in Tampa Bay as well.
Great. Thank you, Rod. And thank you, Ernest, for inviting me to join you this morning. It's a pleasure to be with you. The role of the Economic Development Council here in Tampa Bay is essentially to help create high-paying jobs in our economy. And we do that by marketing the city and the county and this region as a top business destination. And in order to do that, in order to be competitive in landing some of these big projects that will relocate or expand in your community, you have to demonstrate that you have the workforce to sustain those businesses. Back when I got started in this business, economic development was about providing incentives to companies and, just trying to buy them to come into your community and create jobs and capital investment. Well, today, these companies can go anywhere they want to go. And they choose to go where the talent is available, where they have good quality talent. And in order to have that, you have to have great educational systems, but you also have to have great workforce development programs. And one of our goals is really to market some of the workforce programs that are out there that's available for our businesses. The Economic Development Council is really where the rubber meets the road when you're talking about companies that are growing and expanding in your community and companies that are looking to move and expand in your community. And so our ability to be able to tout the types of programs that we have is critical, which is one of the reasons why we partner with CareerSource Tampa Bay. They have a plethora of workforce programs. We actually send people out and we visit local businesses to talk about those programs and to encourage them to get their employees upskilled so that we can create better paying jobs and be attractive for those companies that want to move and expand. So it's a pleasure to be with you all today. I'm looking forward to the rest of the session.
Greg, thank you so much. And last but certainly not least for this question, Osea Wynn, certainly we know that without the government being a part of this, none of this may not work as well as anyone wanted to. So talk a little bit about, from the standpoint of the city of Tampa, if you will, Osea, about how all of this connects and to make our area much better for everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you again for having us here, Ernest and Rod. Thank you for the question. So one of the mayor's key initiatives out of our 5 initiatives is workforce development. When she started on the campaign, she was very, very focused on what are those things, what are the things that we should be doing to ensure we have a healthy workforce. Prior to COVID, prior to the pandemic, in the construction trades industry, we're looking at approximately 4,200 to 4,300 available jobs, but not having the skilled workers to fill those positions. So one of the focuses of the administration is to build that conduit, that umbrella that will train or be the arm to provide those resources for training those underemployed and unemployed individuals so that they can actually fill the construction trades jobs. So what we're doing with the workforce development is providing that umbrella, the umbrella that will touch CDCs and CareerSource and all of the other agencies that are out there that are actually doing workforce development, so that there could be a one-stop shop for, we're starting with construction and trades, but that can be a one-stop shop for all of the workforce. So that's the role that the city is playing in the workforce development.
Thank you, Osea. So before March, I think all of this had a very different complexion. It was all a very different thing. I know Tampa Bay region has a positivity rate for COVID-19. And yes, I'm sorry, folks, the COVID-19 question is about to come up now. That's a 4.34% positivity rate. That's great for the Tampa Bay area, but just the pandemic itself has had to have a tremendous impact on how all of you operate. For example, we are having a virtual awards program right now. That is a good example. I'll start with John on this question. How has this, the COVID-19 and the pandemic impacted the work that you do and the strategies that you're utilizing? What has changed for you?
Yeah, it's a great question, Rod. Unfortunately, all of the issues that have come along with the pandemic, no one talks about this one very much. A majority of the people that were affected by employment through the pandemic have been people earning less than $40,000 a year. So the people that needed the most, that may have needed the most assistance with upskilling are the people that are most directly affected, which is difficult and heartbreaking, quite frankly, for organizations like mine, like Ernest's, like Craig's, and like, Osea, certainly within the city of Tampa and Hillsborough County. It really has kind of kicked us as an organization into overdrive to really look at in what industries are positions available that may match skill sets initially for the folks that have been displaced, and create a career pathway for them. We worked a lot from IT, manufacturing, even healthcare, to kind of equate the customer service skills that folks have, particularly, hospitality and tourism has been affected by far and away the most. And the issue with that is, that is a completely consumer demand-driven industry. So until people are comfortable going out to eat again or going to stay in a hotel, the demand isn't going to be back from an employer standpoint to onboard, their entire workforce that they had to disconnect from. So how do we find opportunities in other industries for those folks? How do we match those skill sets to at least get their foot in the door, whether it's direct employment, providing upskilling through short-term credentialing and training and things of those nature. One of the things that came out of this is we worked with, Hillsborough County. Craig and I got to sit on a couple of kind of, I don't want to call them ad hoc committees, but it was just concerned business leaders and organizations that really wanted to figure out how do we help in that, in light of COVID. The county redirected some dollars to CareerSource Tampa Bay specifically for rapid reemployment and retraining. So it's kind of, for us, it's an all hands on deck approach, but we also can't lose sight of the fact that, the good news is this will end at some point. We hope a lot sooner than later, obviously, but we can't lose sight of the vision and what we do from an organizational standpoint of developing future talent. That just kind of can't go away because, those issues that we have are still going to remain in the future if we don't continue to address them. So our mission has become a little bit bifurcated, in that light, but really just reacting as quickly as possible. And it's been great to see, Tampa's a new community to me. I've only been here for about a year and a half, but, I've never seen the pace in which everybody wanted to get together and make sure that we help our most vulnerable citizens.
And Craig, I know, as John mentioned, I know things will change at some point. We are all going to get there, but I think things have changed permanently on how we all operate. For your organization, what is going to be different moving forward?
Yeah, excellent question. That's something that we grapple with every day. Just like any other business, we're trying to adapt to a virtual environment. How do we execute on our mission, which includes business development, talent attraction, and placemaking, to also how do we make sure that our investors are engaged in our mission in a virtual environment. So much of what we do from a relationship standpoint has been in person. Just like we're having this meeting virtually, and typically it would be in person and you get to network. Well, how do we continue to operate in a manner that our investors feel like they are providing value in our mission? And so on the business development front, we've had to acquire new tools so that we can reach out to those companies that are potential prospects that would expand and grow in your community. These things include everything from adapting our website to more virtual tools. Whereas we relied heavily on people coming to visit us and then we would tour them around the city and the region. Now we have to do that virtually. So now we have mapping products that you can click on and it'll tell you a story. It's called storyboarding. So people will come in. We have to tell the story about the talent that's available. We have to tell the story about the quality of life that's available here. Tell the story about the cost of living that's here. And so we've had to adapt all of these tools to a more virtual environment. From an investor standpoint, we've had to do the same thing. I haven't had an investor meeting in person since February, and all of our meetings have been, either Zoom or conference calls, but more than likely it's going to be Zoom. In fact, we're having our annual meeting October the 29th, and it's going to be a virtual annual meeting just like this. So, some of these things are here to stay, just like you said, Rod. And one of the things I believe is people are learning that, you don't always have to hop on a plane to go somewhere. And so now we have to make sure that, our message is strong enough that can tell the story to those companies that, decided to do a virtual visit before they come and visit in real life. So that's where we are. And I think that part is going to stay with us for a while.
I would agree with you. You don't always have to jump on a plane, but boy, do I want to get on a plane going somewhere. I just want to go somewhere. The next question I'm going to pose will be for Osea and Ernest, because along the lines of what you said about how things have completely changed for a lot of us, and a lot of this may go back to the way it was, but a lot of it is probably going to stay with this kind of new normal, if you will. What are the hot industries that are money-making industries and industries that people can get involved in right now, Osea, here that we're looking at through the city of Tampa? And then Ernest, the question for you will be, what is the CDC of Tampa doing to help kind of bridge that gap and find workers for what these new industries will be? So I'll start with Osea.
Okay, so yes, one of the industries that we're looking at, and I mentioned just a moment ago, is the construction industry, the construction trades. Not only because there's currently a shortage in the skilled workers and who are not able to fulfill the work, but because the city of Tampa has made a $2 billion investment, a $2 billion, that's with a B, dollar investment in the construction field. There's no secret that the aging infrastructure is a problem throughout all of the United States. So what we're doing over the next 2 to 3 decades, is we will be replacing the pipes that are in the ground. In order to do that, and that's within the city limits, but in order to do that, we need the skilled workers. Yes, we need the engineers and the architects and all of that, but we also need the people who are actually going to replace the pipe, who will understand that the pipe has to be put in the ground at a certain slope in order for it to flow, those type of skills. So that's what we will be focusing on, but with the understanding that once we focus on one, again, it will be residual. Now we'll be bringing jobs in, we'll be bringing people in, we'll need the workforce, the housing affordability piece to sustain the people, these employees. We will need transportation. So it's all encompassing. But to answer the question, the immediate focus for us will be in the construction trades because of the pipe replacement projects that we're embarking upon.
That's great information to know for a lot of people out there who may be thinking about a new career pivoting or how they're going to do that. And Ernest, how are you making the connection for what the city needs and what you guys are offering?
Yeah, so Osea is exactly right. When you look at the fastest growing industries, construction is the only one that has had continued growth, and it's outpaced everyone else by like double. So the CDC of Tampa has always been known for being able to recruit residents and find people who are looking for jobs. But we've also created a vocational school, and it focuses on short-term certifications. So we can really focus on what's called the pre-apprenticeship or the construction trades to really get people those rapid certifications that they need to get them moving and working. So what we've been able to do is partner with a lot of those prime contractors that'll see us talking about who've gone after these projects, and they've come to us and say, hey, help us find people, help us to recruit people and train them and get them trained. And if you look at East Tampa, where we're located on Hillsborough Avenue, I'm considering this a training corridor. We have, our vocational school, we have HCC, we have Leary, we have Irwin, and, we've also just partnered with CareerSource to create another career prep center in East Tampa as well. So we're looking at being able to bring youth as well. So not only are these positions to help with the construction trades, but we have Middleton, we have programs at Middleton. So imagine during the summers, we can take the young engineering students from Middleton, or the folks who are studying to become architects, or looking at robotics, to really get them engaged. So we have people building tracks for professional trades as well, and not just the construction trades. But it's important to have an organization like the CDC of Tampa at the center who can pull all these players together. Because again, once you get that paycheck, we have to begin to follow up to make sure they can get to that point of owning their own home, owning their own business, and those kind of assets to make Tampa a thriving Bay Area.
Yeah, you have to have knowledge of what to do with said paycheck
Right.
instead of just kind of blowing that paycheck, as a lot of us young folks did when we were kids. Listen, I wish I could talk to you guys a lot more about some of these issues, but I just have one final question for each one of you, and I'm trying to decide who I'm going to start with. I think I'm going to start with Osea, because I think she'll appreciate this question and get a chuckle out of it. Who you got for the Super Bowl?
Oh my goodness, Rod, you should have asked me that before last night.
I know, right?
So
So, what's your pick?
all bets are off. I think I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Oh, not the okay. I'm not gonna touch that after last week. All right, Craig, who you got for the Super Bowl, my friend?
I am all in on Tampa Bay.
There you go.
We brought the Stanley Cup here. We got the Super Bowl coming, and we're gonna have the Super Bowl championship right here.
And the
I'm
World.
all in.
We're gonna do the trifecta this year,
The
John.
trifecta. Yeah, and the World Series too.
John, all right, answer this carefully, my friend. New to Tampa Bay.
Well, yeah, I'm going to answer as careful as I can. The Pittsburgh Steelers, baby.
Okay. All right, I can respect it. I was a big Steeler fan growing up, and Ernest, I already know who you're gonna say. So go ahead.
Yeah, born and raised in Tampa, Florida. I'm all about my Buccaneers.
I knew
Tampa
it.
Bay's number 2 from 1A. Pittsburgh's 1, Tampa Bay's 1A.
1A. I
How's
like
that?
it. Not even 2.
Okay.
1A. Lady and gentlemen, thank you all very much. Really appreciate you taking a little time out to chat with us this morning about some of the great things that your organizations are doing and the city is doing to try to change the landscape and the face of our city for the better. So appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the CDC of Tampa is blessed to have donors who believe in its mission, of course, and to support vital programming that they provide across Tampa Bay, across its regions. Our sponsors believe in our work and they believe in the efforts of the organization. So we want to say a big thank you to all of those sponsors. And I'd like to list them out now for you if I could. Thank you to our builder sponsors, Dr. Ken Atwater and HCC, of course, for valuing the partnership of CDC and their students. A big thank you to Blue Sky Communities, CareerSource, Port Tampa Bay, Prita, and I hope I said that right, Prita, Guida, and Perez. If I didn't get that right, forgive me, that's on me. Rivero Gordimer, RMC Property Group, the Richmond Group, Sanwa Growers, Tampa Electric, Tampa General Hospital, Tampa Hillsborough Action Plan, Tucker Hall, and Vistra Communications for all supporting us at $1,500 each. So thank you all very, very much for your support. Also, a big thank you to our developer sponsors. Our developer sponsors are, and you'll see a picture here on the screen of all of them in just a moment. Amscott Financial, Casper's Company, McDonald's Restaurants, Furman, Fifth Third Bank, Third Federal Savings and Loan, and each of those organizations supported us at $2,500. So a big thank you to those folks as well. And thank you to the architect sponsors. And the architect sponsors came in a big way, and we appreciate all that they've done. And that would be Wells Fargo. And we're going to get that up on the screen as well. Wells Fargo, Sykes Enterprises, the Bank of Tampa. There you go. You can see them there. Hancock, Whitney, and let me get to the second page of my script. Hancock, Whitney, and of course, Moffitt. And so thank you all for supporting us at $5,000. And we have a very special thanks and gratitude to our title sponsor, our entrepreneur sponsor, and that is Valley Bank. Valley Bank supported the organization at $10,000 level, and we're so glad that they did, and thank them very much. David Ogborn, who's a senior vice president with Valley and a board member of the CDC of Tampa, is stopping by just to say a few words. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll turn things over to David.
Thank you, Rod. Good morning, everyone. It's really a pleasure and an honor to support the CDC of Tampa as the title sponsor in today's virtual event. Community involvement and financially supporting organizations that do a really good job and are very effective in community development are core values of Valley Bank. So supporting the CDC of Tampa as today's title sponsor is just a natural partnership for our bank. Being active in the community is one thing, and it's great and it's necessary, but making a financial investment in organizations like the CDC of Tampa is absolutely critical if we really want to elevate the lives of all of our residents in our community. So thank you, Ernest and the CDC of Tampa, for all you do for our community. And Valley Bank is proud to be a community partner with you.
David, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to say hello to everybody, and we appreciate you being here very much. So it has been my pleasure to be with you once again to serve as MC for this wonderful event sponsored by the CDC of Tampa, and from suit up and show up in the winter and our annual fundraiser in the fall. I'm pretty much family, so y'all can't get rid of me. I'm just going to be here for a while. And at this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to President and CEO Ernest Coney Jr. for our final presentations. Thank you so much again for allowing me to take part.
All right. Thank you, Rod. Always a pleasure to see you. As the CDC Tampa does this great work, we can't do it alone. We've always had a mantra of "Come, let us build," to take away the reproach of the city. So with that, it takes partners. So we'd like to present some awards, the Nehemiah Awards. And the Nehemiah Award is given to an outstanding corporation that exemplifies the mission and vision of the CDC of Tampa, helping to create economic opportunities for communities and neighborhoods to thrive. Because Bank of America was one of the first banks to put a branch in East Tampa, through which we have partnered to provide hundreds of residents opportunities to obtain a mortgage, open a savings account, or obtain a business loan. During the Great Recession, we also partnered on mitigation strategies to keep residents in their home. In the late 1990s, Bank of America helped the CDC of Tampa to build 25 new single-family homes as part of its Nehemiah project, community building block by block and person by person. The CDC of Tampa leveraged on this experience and built another 100 homes in East Tampa, setting the standard for the quality and the features offered in affordable housing. This year, Bank of America will have made a $100,000 investment in CDC of Tampa's Workforce Development Center. This investment will help the CDC of Tampa to expand its vocational trades programs to serve more residents. Today, we honor Bank of America for making a pioneering in emerging communities and continuing to invest in innovative approaches to transform and grow communities in thriving areas. Receiving this award for Bank of America Market President, Bill Gady.
Recognizing Bank of America with the Nehemiah Award. Our partnership with CDC of Tampa goes back many years, and we thank you for your steadfast focus on improving East Tampa. Ernst, the work you and your team have been doing is making Tampa Bay a better place. At Bank of America, we believe by helping individuals and families remove barriers to success, we can create communities where everyone can thrive and succeed. Our investments in CDC of Tampa over the years represent these values. Thank you again for this award, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, Bill. Next, we have JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase has supported the CDC of Tampa in many of our efforts to transform our communities. The bank has provided hundreds of volunteer hours with our organization, from painting parks, cleaning up the neighborhoods, and beautifications. Whenever we have needed technical assistance to review a real estate project, Chase team has always gone above and beyond in giving valuable input. During the Great Recession, Chase increased its giving to our organization to help keep more than 2,500 residents in their home, hosting scam prevention and foreclosure mitigation workshops in partnership with us. During the Great Recession, Chase increased its giving again and again and again. Coming out of the recession, Chase has helped us to improve the financial literacy and credit scores of our residents by focusing on financial capabilities and first-time homebuyer classes. Additionally, Chase supported the development of 104 multifamily units and 2 affordable housing projects. Today, we honor Chase, and to receive this award, Chase Executive Director, Senior Commercial Banking, Community Development Banking, Mrs. Tammy Haylock Moore.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. It's an honor to be here representing Chase and its 5,000 employees in the Tampa Bay area. And it's with tremendous pleasure that I extend greetings to the CDC of Tampa, its board members, its dedicated staff, as well as the mayor and all those community partners that are participating on this call today. Thank you so much for your leadership, your commitment to addressing homelessness, economic assistance, and the need for affordable housing here in Tampa. The support we all extend to organizations like the CDC enables them to provide much needed resources to families in need, including the establishment of youth leadership programs, educational workshops, the workforce training, affordable housing, and financial counseling. So on behalf of Chase and our team of dedicated employees and their families, we thank the CDC for their long-standing development of solutions and initiatives addressing our community needs in housing, education, economic, and community development, as your commitment to serving those in need has had an incredible impact in Tampa Bay. And last but not least, I thank each and every one of you on this call today for your continued support and dedication to the CDC, our community, and its residents. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tammy. We love that award on you. Next, not only is it the corporations that really have an opportunity to transform the neighborhoods, but we also have residents. So like Nehemiah, we need community sparks to have sustainable change. Next up, we'd also like to have our Nehemiah Legacy Award. The first recipient is Miss Evangeline Best. Miss Evangeline Best is honored for her community engagement efforts, helping to organize East Tampa Now, our community input and volunteer service group. Through her efforts, we have had 4 residents to receive the Dorothy Richardson Award, a national award highlighting the efforts of residents dedicated to being a community spark. Mrs. Best has not only been engaged, but has also recruited her daughter, her brother, and her sisters to engage with the CDC of Tampa. Mrs. Best has been a mother figure to many of our young men, including myself. We honor you today, Ms. Best.
Thank you for the Nehemiah Legacy Award. It really means a lot to me. We've engaged in a lot of activities promoting CDC of Tampa. Thank you.
So Ms. Best has always been a tremendous person and a very special person in our communities. Next, we also have another special person. Miss Denise Matei James is being honored for her passion for our youth and ability to raise funds. Several years ago, Mrs. James witnessed the graduation ceremony of our youth in our youth leadership movement. After that moment, she said she was going to create a Denise James Matei scholarship program, even if she had to give the money herself. And she did. Mrs. James was also began to invite other companies to join the charge, allowing for many youth to matriculate to college, but would also to have money for books and other things. She carried this passion over to our annual fundraising and has helped to invite many friends and companies to understand the importance of giving to the CDC of Tampa. Mrs. James, we honor you with this award.
I'm very honored to receive the Nehemiah Legacy Award. I've been with the CDC almost since its inception, and I've seen them grow. My love for CDC is such that I began the first ever Youth Leadership Movement Scholarship Fund on behalf of the Denise McKay James Foundation. Thank you so much to Ernest and staff and honor him this way.
Thank you, Miss Denise. We're so excited for you and all that you've done. Next up, we're going to have another great song by Alex Harris.
Thank you, Ernest, and thank you to the CDC of Tampa and the team for all that you're doing. This song I'm going to do is called Humanity. It's one of my latest release. I released it on Juneteenth. It's also on my new EP titled Frequency, and you can find that anywhere: Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, or just ask Alexa. But this song really talks about, regardless of where you're from, what position you hold, it doesn't matter the color of the skin, gender, orientation, faith or not, we are all human, and I am because you are, and you are because I am. Color is color, heart beats the same. Tell me, what is the difference? Inside we're made the same. To love is simple. Yes, we can change. Mend our brokenness. Heal the world, disease and pain. Tell me, will you turn and walk away and pretend you don't see? When I hear an outcry in the universe for all humanity, we're all human. We're all human. We're all human. Oh. Oh, yeah. Woo. I've been a victim of systems, but I learned to play by the rules. I almost lost my identity by the isms, abuse, positions and powers. So misused, yeah. Generational ignorance. It's been told as truth. Oh, tell me, will you turn and walk away, pretend you don't see? When there's an outcry throughout the universe for all humanity, we're all human. Oh, we're all human. Oh, yeah, we're all human. Yeah, yeah. I got one more thing to say. Yeah. Ooh. Yes, inequalities, they still do exist, yeah. But a change will be if we dare persist and we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything, yeah. So come on, everybody, stand for love. That's what we believe. Oh, tell me, will you turn walk away and pretend you don't see. But there's an outcry in the universe. All humanity, we're all human. We're all human, yeah. Doesn't matter where you're from, we're human. It doesn't matter where I'm from, we're human. It doesn't matter the color of your skin now. It doesn't matter where you've been, yeah. Doesn't matter how much money you got or how much you don't have. It doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, no. 'Cause we're all human.
Wow.
We're all human. Such a timely message. Thank you, Alex Harris. And we definitely want to invite you back next year. If no one has ever seen him perform live, it's an amazing, 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 amazing event. And he has the most talented family, I will tell you. I thought the Jackson 5 was the most talented family. The Harris family is the most talented family. So thank you again, Alex Harris.
Thank you.
So as we continue to talk about we all are human and we all have needs. This next success story, Ms. Toshia Jones, really encapsulates all that the CDC of Tampa does and all the hopes and dreams and aspirations and how everything can come together with just a little bit of investment. Up next, a special message from Toshia Jones.
Well, I'm a mother of four. I have been married for 14 years, but unfortunately going through a separation. That's what landed me into the situation I am in now. I moved out of the home and I stayed with my grandmother, who was 84 at the time. After that, I landed up in a hotel where it became more and more and more expensive. Constantly telling my kids, no, I can't make that deadline. That's hurtful to me because I have 4 daughters, all girls. And I love my daughters very much. And I just wanted to let them know, no matter what you go through in life, you don't have to stay down. There's a way for you to get up. But you can't get up if you never try. I reached out to the Red Cross. I reached out to the Salvation Army. I even reached out to my church. And at that time, I didn't receive any assistance, any help. So I felt like all hope was gone until I stumbled across the CDC of Tampa on Hillsborough. It was like, this is my last chance. Please, God, please. Somehow you planted my feet here. So guide me. This process went so quickly. It went above my expectations because I thought it would have taken anywhere from 60 to 90 days to receive any type of help. When the CDC of Tampa stepped right in and told me what the qualifications was, that I did qualify, what the next steps was so I can receive the funding so I will be able to provide stability for my kids, I adhered to it. I did it. Step by step. Ms. LaFave reached out to Ms. Valerie. Ms. Valerie therefore reached out to me. They reached out to the landlord, told me no more communication with the landlord. We got it from him. I've never heard that. It just overcomes me at time to time because I'm still astounded and shocked that someone actually took the time after all the struggles that I've been through. They actually came through. And I can remember it like it was yesterday. They said, you got it. They told me no more sleepless nights, no more worrying about where my kids gonna be, no more worrying about if all hope is gone. They said you gotta prove the CDC, the Building Strong Families,
they approved you, Tasha. And we've never seen them approve anyone this quickly. With all my struggles and mishaps, God bless me and my family, my daughters, to move into the place August 14th, 2020. And yes, Building Strong Family helped me and my kids. We are still in that place today. We have successfully completed 1 whole month. The future for me looks very bright now because after conquering getting the place with the help of Building Strong Family, I believe my family is getting stronger day by day now because it went from a house that I did not have, and that's called stability, to a job, to now I have a car. I'm enrolled at Nova University. I'm taking up pharmacy as a pharmacist. I have already completed 4 years for pharmacy technician, and I'm Board of Florida certified. So within 3.5 to 4 years left, I will be your pharmacist, Miss Tasha Jones, aka the Struggle Master that achieves. Look at me. If you want to see another successful story, donate to the CDC of Tampa. It will change someone's life, even if you think it won't, it will. It changed mine. Thank you, CDC of Tampa, Building Strong Families.
Thank you, Tasha, for that wonderful success story. I'm hearing tears right now. Tasha truly represents the earn it, keep it, grow it strategy, and what it all means. So continue on, and we know you got it. So with that, we can never do this great work by ourselves. It always takes a team. It may be a community spark that gets us excited to start the movement, to start the transformation. But it takes the entire village to raise up their arms, to roll up their sleeves, and to continue to build. Come, let us build, that we take away the reproach of our city. So with that, we're going to invite each and every one of you to be able to give, to be able to invest in the work that the CDC of Tampa provides, to be able to take a charge and be a part of the movement. Thrive 365, where every single day we can make sure that someone has the ability to be a champion and to thrive. So there's going to be a QR code that comes up. You can simply take your camera and take a picture of it or access your QR code application. And it'll directly take you into the ability to give to the CDC of Tampa. There also will be a link provided in the chat function where you can go in and click on that link to be able to give. You can also visit our website, www.cdcoftampa.org, to be able to give or to invest. And again, we can't do this great work without you. So if you have your cameras, you can just turn on the camera function and let the camera focus on that QR code, and it should take you directly to the ability to give. So we thank you again for all that you've done as investors, as stakeholders, as a community. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for this event. We'd like to thank them for giving and investing with us. We'd like to thank all the participants, all the panelists, all the great success stories. I'd like to thank our consultants, Tiffany and Ebony. But most of all, we'd like to thank you as the residents and the people who provide and take services. We'd like to thank the staff and the board of the CDC of Tampa. So it's been fun, it's been exciting. I hope that you have been able to engage, to witness something, to see something that will challenge you, that will push you, so that we can all help to continue to transform this great neighborhood to make this city the best that it can be. We look forward to seeing you next year. So I salute you all. Good day and good night.